This afternoon, we are privileged to introduce to you a cancer survivor. Our motto is touching lives, making a difference. And I truly believe this person has touched lives, and I'm sure she's out there making a difference. This afternoon, we want to introduce to you Heidi Marshall. Heidi was born in Australia, raised in New Zealand, and educated at Waikato and Massey universities. She is currently studying her postgraduate degree in psychology. She is 39, married, and has lived in the Turks and Caicos for the past 4.5 years. Heidi is a lover of horses, and she adores the country lifestyle. Heidi has worked behind the scenes with the National Cancer Society in the past, assisting us with the setup of the office, and has volunteered her time and support on an ongoing basis. She was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer at the age of 23 and is currently in remission. She has 3 members of her family battling various types of cancer, and her prayer today is that those members of her family are as successful as she has been in battling this disease. So without further ado, we want to introduce to you Mrs. Heidi Marshall. Let's give her a round of applause.
Hi, good afternoon. Today I face a different journey to the one I took almost 16 years ago, a journey that revisits a life experience I did not, nor thought I could have, experienced at 23 years of age. I remember sitting in the waiting room at my local doctor's office, hoping that the sinking feeling in my stomach was just nerves. I was 23, women my age don't get breast cancer. No matter how many times I told myself this, the sinking feeling would not dissipate. My doctor was awesome. Although he really believed it would be nothing, he understood my need to get this lump looked at sooner rather than later. So a few days later, I met my surgeon, who agreed that it was probably nothing, but let's just take it out, and then neither of us have to worry about it after tomorrow. I went home happy that despite my age, my doctors and surgeons took me seriously, which in time was going to be one of my saving graces. I went home that day to pack my bags for my overnight surgery, happy in the knowledge that after tomorrow everything was going to be okay. The next day was uneventful. Surgery went well. Doctor again didn't think it was anything to worry about. I was happy, my family was happy. We made an appointment for in 2 weeks' time, just to make sure the wound was healing as it should. I didn't hear from my surgeon before the 2-week appointment was up. Good news, my auntie said, everything must be okay, or they would have called you in early. So off we went. My auntie, who was like my mum, came with me. We made plans to go shopping afterwards, and then back in time to go on an afternoon horse trek, because we were only going to be 5 or 10 minutes at the doctor's. We arrived, and he called me into his office and said, let's just see how you are healing first, and then we will have a little chat. I knew then that this lump wasn't just a little cyst, but cancer. I was healing well, he was pleased, but he said I would have got you in earlier, but I had asked the pathology lab to recheck your results, and they only just came back the night before. The second check did not produce different results. It was what it was, cancer. All 3 of us sat there in silence, neither of us knowing what to say next, until my surgeon said, I really didn't think your lump was cancer. So what do we do now, I asked. More surgery, he said. Let's see if there is any more cancer. We made another booking several days later, enough time for me to talk to my boss and get time off work, and call family and friends with the news. My second surgery went well, but a lot of lymph nodes were taken out, and more positive lymph nodes than we would have likely found, but the cancer had not spread within my breast. This is good news, he said. So what now? You need to go and see this man. You are lucky. He is the head of the oncology department. You will be in good hands, and good luck. So my journey into the cancer world was well and truly steaming ahead. Finally the day rolled around and we headed off to my appointment. I couldn't stop crying, but at the same time was trying so hard to be brave. My oncologist was lovely. We got along really well and spent the next 2 hours discussing my cancer. You have stage 3 cancer because of the amount of lymph nodes involved, and your lump in the breast was large. But he said with treatment you have 60% chance of surviving 5 years. Wow, that is not so great. No, he said, cancers in young people tend to be more aggressive, so we have to be just as aggressive. So we came to a decision on treatment. We would sign up with adriamycin 4 treatments as opposed to the 12 treatments of a chemo combo that was a little friendlier. I figured 4 was more doable than 12. However, I had to stay in hospital after each treatment because they didn't know how I was going to react to the chemo. And you will lose your long hair, eyebrows and eyelashes. Well, I can handle the losing of the hair, but I think I would rather go home after the treatment than stay. Not an option, he replied. Well, staying in is not an option, I replied. Common ground had to be found. I said I had to take a leap of faith and trust that what you put before me is going to help me. Now you need to take a leap of faith and know that if I need you, I will call. We came up with a plan. The local doctor agreed to go on call, and I'll give you my home number with a promise from you that you will call if you get sick, and I will concede and let you go home. I was happy, but my doctor was not so happy, but I thought I did well with the chemo. I spent all day in the chemo room. Everything went well. I went home and felt okay, and my sick bucket remained empty all night. He rang at 7 a.m. the next morning. You didn't ring. I wasn't sick. You weren't? No. I felt queasy, but I haven't been sick. My 3 other treatments went just as well. I worked full-time during my treatments without any problems and secretly competed my horse at 3-day events. My doctor knew that I was riding and thought it was a good idea to keep my life as normal as possible. He just didn't know I was out jumping 1 metre plus jumps. After chemo came 5 weeks of radiation, which I slotted in my lunch break. Again, I was lucky and found radiation not too hard. Once I graduated from radiation, I had to prepare for my 3rd surgery. Radiated wires were inserted into tubes in my breast where the lump was. 3 days I had to spend in isolation in a lead room. But after this I knew I was finished. My cancer treatment journey was just about over. Slowly my hair started growing back, my energy levels were returning to normal, but cancer was still a very big part of my life. I did not graduate as quickly through the checkup stages as some of my chemo buddies. First year, every month, 2 doctors, 6 monthly checkups didn't arrive until I was 5 years plus down the track. Now I have been in remission for almost 16 years. I am grateful and sad at the same time that not all women or men diagnosed with breast cancer have the same second chance as I. Young women can and do get breast cancer. Don't let my journey become your journey. Thank you.